at the foursome. And looking at the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Tiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And it's out of bounds, the Heat able to retain possession here. And here's Miami. 6 to shoot. Here's Napier. Bosch passes to Wade. Dang. Here's Napier. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Napier's got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Heat. Parker with it.
What is insane about the Spurs and how successful they are as a franchise is that in their entire franchise history, they've only missed the playoffs 4 times. That is absolutely remarkable.
And just about a minute into the first quarter. There's the steal. Here's Splitter. That's short off the rim.
And with the Spurs in the playoffs, you can't even begin to think about a postseason without the Spurs being involved. Only 4 absences since 1976. That's incredible. I'd say that shot was well within his range. You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
Here is Parker, following the score by Luol Deng. San Antonio again missing. Of course, with the Spurs, the last time they missed the playoffs, they drafted perhaps one of the best power forwards of all time in Tim Duncan.
Well, you know, he's a part of why they haven't missed the playoffs since. But the organization has run really well from top to bottom. And they deserve nothing but the success they've had since their inception because of that.
Parker with the steal. The pull-up, blocked. And it's the Heat on the break. Then kicks to Wade. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dog.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yeah, you got that right.
Now here's Parker. The rebound by McRoberts.
Nothing dropping for him, so I think in the best interest of his team, he may need to think about not shooting right now.
And the whistle blows. It'll be on Tiago Splitter. That is his first foul of the game. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Napier passes to Wade. Well, the way Wade played early on his career, guys, how aggressively he attacked the rim and sacrificed his body, you knew that kind of play style. And so, Steve, it looks like maybe he's adjusted a bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Kevin. He's become more cerebral. He's also, you know, in terms of attacking the rim, doesn't happen as frequently, but he picks his spots.
San Antonio making a switch here. Diaz checked in. San Antonio again missing. Miami leading by 7. Napier kicks to Deng and he uses both hands to jam it in.
Yeah, they're really doing a nice job of stringing together solid possessions and building that lead up. That's the key, Steve. They'll stay in control of this game if they can just avoid any lulls going forward.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. The Spurs have got a paltry 0 of 6 in the field in what's been a very difficult start for them. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
You know, a short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. He told me they're going to have to turn to their defense in this one if they want to get the W. He said, we're not the kind of team that wants to get into a boat race. We want to grind this thing out and make every bucket for them as tough as we can make it. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. And given the scoring talent on the floor, defensive mindedness definitely a key here, guys. Any thoughts?
Well, I agree, Kevin. Playing sound defense has to be their focus. If they can win the battle at that end of the floor, I think they've got a great chance to win. Well, I agree, because if they don't do that, Steve, what happens at the other end isn't going to matter. It'll be futile. He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
And there's Dwayne Wade on the assist by Deng. Wade's got 5.
You know, they've been so effective when they've been able to get the ball inside.
Some real shortcomings from this defense. I mean, they've given up 5 straight looks in the paint.
Offensive rebound. Here's Duncan, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
He's their leader defensively. He's able to do so many things well on that end of the court, and takes the pressure off everybody around him. An indispensable asset for them.
And he is also a tireless worker under the glass, Steve. More than a few guys have been on the receiving end of one of his elbows when the rebound is up for grabs. He uses his body very well.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Chris Anderson is checked in for Bosch. Granger comes in for Josh McRoberts, and it's Chalmers in for Napier.
Well, 2 seasons ago, the Heat were rolling. They won a franchise record 66 games. 27 of those came consecutively. Last season, they managed the regular season. They knew they had to pace themselves in an effort to try to win a 3rd straight championship.
The Heat making a switch here. Haslam's checked in, and the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his first foul. Haslam a screen. And last season, I'd say, guys, the Heat more or less just conceded that #1 seed to the Pacers.
Yeah, almost like a marathon runner. You know, they just didn't want to burn out early, so they just kind of found their pace throughout the season. And they weren't worried too much about the home seed. They were concerned more with their own health. And I thought Eric Spoelstra handled all of those dynamics perfectly.
This past offseason, the Spurs found themselves with a bit of wiggle room that came to the salary cap.
For so long, Kevin, they've been able to only make moves through the draft and with minor adjustments, things they really do well, but the flexibility was new to them, and I'm sure they'll take full advantage of it.
Now Chalmers. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Here's Duncan. No good off the front iron.
You're not doing your team any good forcing a shot like that one.
You know, I agree. He's got to know better than that.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And San Antonio calling for the foul.
Well, for the Spurs, who knows what the future holds. It's an aging team, but they do have some players to build around. And so they could have gone in any direction with their cap space.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Splitter is checked in for Duncan. Bellinelli comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Anu Ginobili's checked in for Daniel.